Sonic Orchestra themes are freaking goated. And I'm a yap about it because nobody else seems to want to on this platform. If there are two things with Sonic we all know, it's A, the fun gameplay these games have, for the most part, and B, the awesome music from this franchise. The series in its over 30-year run has so much music from so many different games and eras. From these games has come some amazing soundtracks, with 06 being my all-time favorite Sonic soundtrack out of them all. It's no competition. It really gets it all right. Not to say the OSTs from afterwards wouldn't get it right, but with this OST, this one is one that I can't think of a single track that I don't like from it. Also, the variety on this thing is freaking insane. This soundtrack, much like with the game, was meant to bring Sonic into the next generation. A soft reboot is often what this game is titled as, and it does that mainly in a gameplay sense as they're going back to the adventure formula, but not only was the gameplay of Sonic being brought into the next generation, the music was being brought into the next generation too. Sonic soundtracks up to this point in the series being 2005 were all fantastic. Constantly with every new title, it was back-to-back bangers. Adventure, Adventure 2, Heroes, even Shadow 05 as well. Heck, I'll throw in the spin-off games too from the time. Those are awesome as well. But unfortunately, in terms of the actual games, things were not doing so well. So with 06, Sonic Team knew they had to come back strong with the game, and that's what they set out to do, including the OST. Now, normally insert the 06 potential speech in here about how the development, hell it went through and whatnot, but we're not going to get into that whole thing about 06 and what happened because this is just beating like a dead horse to the point where there is nothing left at all at the horse. There's just dust. There's no horse. So we're just going to focus on this today. Sound good? Alright, let's go. As said previously, Sonic 06 was meant to push the boundaries for the Sonic series, a new innovation for the next generation to push Sonic further ahead than ever before. Alongside the game being super innovative, the soundtrack had to follow that up as well. That's where the now beloved composer for the Sonic series comes into play, being Tomoya Ohtani. He would take the lead music producer position for this game and would go on to produce one of the best Sonic soundtracks of the entire franchise, along with other talented musicians to work on the soundtrack as well. But when making the music for 06, the team implemented something that hasn't been in Sonic games thus far, being ladies and gentlemen, I give you orchestral music in Sonic, or symphony, or orchestrated music, whatever you want to call it. This is one of the many reasons I love this soundtrack so much. The addition of orchestral music throughout this OST is great alongside all the other genres this game has too. For this being the first game to introduce this musical genre into the Sonic series, I gotta say, man, they sure got it right the first time. Here in 06, they managed to nail the orchestral pieces perfectly in this game, and you're going to be hearing it quite a lot because it's just about everywhere in this game. Now, orchestral stuff is nothing new to games. In fact, especially nowadays, it's really nearly everywhere now. If anything, your game is weird without one, honestly. I mean, but at the time for 2006, and especially in a Sonic game, this was new, and also enhanced the story as well, giving it more of a cinematic and epic feel to it to kind of almost feel like a movie. And say what you will about 06 and how it is as a game, but its soundtrack, haven't said this in a while, but it's peak! Especially the orchestral pieces. It works so well with the Sonic series in just about every way, and gives the Sonic series a new emphasis on its story like never before.
If the world chooses to become my enemy, I will fight like I always have.
Eggman, I'm coming here to the secret of the plains of disaster and to take the gems that are the key to its secrets, the Chaos Emerald. Now, Princess, this way, please.
And so, I do my best to protect my country. I understand everything my parents said to me now. Sonic, if you leave here to go on another adventure, remember this place.
Definitely.
I love this about Sonic games. The addition of orchestral music in the soundtracks just makes it work in so many ways. It was the perfect evolution for the next generation in Sonic games for anything climactic or dramatic that's going on in the game. Before 06, the music would get more dramatic towards the finale of the game, but it wasn't ever with orchestral music on this level before. In 06, it feels super climactic, and throughout this soundtrack, the orchestral pieces are just about everywhere, and it works so well.
This is the distant future, far removed from our own timeline.
The future? Then that means Eggman's machine can control time!
Eggman's got some nerve dropping us here.
No matter where we go, all we see are ruins. How can this be our future?
How could it come to this?
Awakened Iblis. The Iblis Trigger.
Did we already go through this?
Wouldn't know what to do without you. You fought alongside me to save the world. You're my friend, right?
You're still so naive. But I've always liked that about you. Good luck, Silver!
Alright, yeah, you get the picture. It's awesome here, and for this being the first time they did this, they really did it well. It feels natural for the Sonic series. I mean, granted, almost every game franchise in the 2000s started using orchestral music in their games. Like, even Mario did it too in 2007 with Mario Galaxy. So maybe that just goes to show just how awesome orchestral music is. But the point is that it's fantastic here in 06, and Tomoya Ohtani and his team really did a good job with all of these pieces. And like I just said, the orchestral pieces are everywhere here. Cutscenes, victory screens, main themes, title screens, boss fights. Did I mention title screens? All of it sounds awesome. You would think a franchise that already had a decent, well-established musical genre for its series with the past few entries would just stick to it. But then, here comes this one with this brand new genre of music being integrated within it, and it sounds right and so awesome at the same time. The music sounds like it was made for the Sonic experience that would be remembered for many years afterwards as one of the greatest Sonic games out there. But we all know the story. And it's a shame that 06 was a huge flop in many ways, especially when listening to its soundtrack. This game really wanted to take the Sonic series in a new direction with a number of things, including its music. It introduced so much here and added a new level of dramatization to the story, and wait a minute, is that a word? And adds to the experience as well. But this soundtrack is forever stuck in this game that is really flawed. It sucks, and I'm sure many at Sonic Team were also hurt by this as well, not to mention the loss of Secret Rings as well that following year. Speaking of which...
Return the Arabian Nights to the way they were, so that the world can have its stories again. My third wish! Eraser Jin, you shall live out the rest of time trapped inside your lamp as you were in days of old! Hedgehog.
But moving on from Secret Rings, the failures of both games were still there. Secret Rings might not have been a complete total failure like 06 was, but it still wasn't received well by critics and fans. So with this, Sonic Team knew they had to step up their game once again and come back even stronger than before, as not only as an apology for the mishap that was 06, but to also get Sonic back on track from the current damage that he had. So, what would that game be? Well, none other than the magnum opus for the Sonic series in the 2000s, baby. Sonic Team, when making Unleashed, worked hard to try and make this game look, play, feel, and truly be the best Sonic game that they ever made. I mean, heck, they were willing to go so far to call this game Sonic Adventure 3 at one point, but backtracked and changed it, honestly for the better in hindsight, because that would not have ended well at all. But when trying to make Unleashed the best Sonic game to release, in development, Tomoya Ohtani, once again back in the lead producer chair, would also get to work on the soundtrack to be on par with the experience Sonic Team was working on, and would not only pick other composers to assist him, like with 06, but would even get involvement of the Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra to compose pieces of the game OST alongside him with the rest of the team. And what we would get from the Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra would be, well, let's just say with what Ohtani brought in with 06, he and the Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra would take the orchestral Sonic music piece to a whole other level with Sonic Unleashed, and make a main melody like no other Sonic game had ever had before. Sonic Unleashed has two main themes, the vocal theme being Endless Possibility and the main orchestral theme being The World Adventure, this game's main melody. And it's really treated as that because you hear this melody throughout the whole game, and it's so cool, from title screens, victory screens, world map, Wii selection screen, even variations of the medleys in cutscenes in the form of a leitmotif. They also even went the extra mile and took it to where when you get an E rank in a stage in this game, the orchestra plays the medley very badly just to solidify how bad you were at this level. The World Adventure is like his world from 06 all over again. You hear it throughout the game, and you simply don't get tired of it. You hear this opening? You know it's Sonic Unleashed. That just shows how flippin' iconic this music piece is to this game. Sure, that's mainly the motif of it and less of the orchestra part, but the orchestra is what makes this theme so good. It adds to it for this, my friend. It makes this game feel grand and big, like you're going to see something crazy go on, that's for sure. Actually, as a matter of fact, it shows that within 5 minutes of booting up the game when you're greeted with this. I mean, come on, it's Unleashed. Are we not gonna talk about it? The Unleashed opening is iconic to not just Sonic, but gaming as a whole. It does everything right for setting up with what you're getting yourself into for this adventure. On top of all that, this whole thing in the looks department is outstanding. And unlike any other Sonic opening out there, it's compact, full of action, and of course, it does that with its music throughout it as well, with the help yet again of the Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra, back once again to create another beautiful piece for a fantastic opening. The whole piece is fantastic and makes this opening more epic thanks to the orchestra. With any other musical genre, this would just sound okay, but thanks to the orchestra, it makes it have that more climactic sound to it.
Really? Look, go easy on me. I'll turn over a new leaf, I swear. Just give me a chance.
Well, this is new. Showing remorse, Eggman? If you played nice, I wouldn't have to break all your toys.
Gotcha.
The tone takes a big shift here. We first see that Sonic has the upper hand, but then, with one press of a button, quite literally at that, the tables turn back to Eggman and we see his plot begin to unfold. And we see probably the most damage that Eggman's ever caused. It's just as the Gaia manuscripts foretold! The entity that was sealed within the planet has awakened. Now I just need to harness its power. Eggman Land will finally come to be!
You really caught and done it this time, Eggman.
Sonic, that's a good look for you. Testing. So long, friend.
And then introduces the main theme for the game being the world adventure. And all of that is just the opening.
Sonic? Whoa. Mr. Monster Guy is back!
So when the sun goes down, I turn into this?
All you need to do is tell me where the Temple of Gaia is!
We're not telling you anything!
So, you dare to defy me, do you? What? Sonic!
Yo, Eggman! Thanks for that little skydiving adventure the other day.
Behold, my new power! Egg Beetle, go! Yeah! Your manners are as bad as ever!
Ha! Same as ever. All bark and no bite.
Awesome.
What is this place?
Hey, Sonic, there's something weird here, right in the middle.
I think I know someone who might know something about what's going on here.
Oh, really?
Professor Pickle over at Spagonia University.
We may be able to restore the planet by returning power to the Chaos Emeralds. The planet's power will restore the Chaos Emeralds, and in turn, help it heal naturally.
Sonic, good news! The planet! One of the broken pieces of the planet moved back into place.
All right. Nice job. Planet-sized jigsaw puzzle? Sounds like a great excuse to see the world.
As said earlier, not only is the world adventure spread throughout this game very widely in the form of a leitmotif, but other pieces of orchestral music are here in this soundtrack too, much like with 06. Multiple cutscenes feature the orchestra once again, boss music has its own new theme between a varying day and night version, and of course, main themes for our characters here as well. It's a nice little thing we have going on here with the orchestral genre being integrated throughout the stories in Sonic games. Not only does it add variety to the soundtracks even more, but it's just so freaking cool, man. Do we need an explanation for everything? Going back to the world adventure, this theme is by far one of the best Sonic orchestral themes out there. It's not only iconic, but it's also a strong and very powerful main theme for the game. My favorite part of the world adventure is the third part of the song after the slower section in the middle. I played it for you earlier, and it's so dang good. The music picks up and has this triumphant feel to it that no other Sonic game really has, to be honest. The powerful and triumphant sound the orchestra provides to this melody is so strong within the music that it makes you feel like that this is it. This is a big Sonic adventure. A world adventure, perhaps. That was the perfect improv, boys. Not only does it sound like a grand adventure you're going on, but this sounds like the big Sonic game that Sega and Sonic Team have been meaning to give to the fans. As if it's Sonic Team themselves saying, hey, we know we messed up 2 years ago, but we've learned from that, and now we're making it right. We're bringing Sonic the Hedgehog back and into the next generation, doing it right this time. This is Sonic Unleashed, ladies and gentlemen. The game that we sacrifice good frame rate for. It's... You know, I love this franchise, but dang man, it gets so hard when you gotta talk about how the GOAT was a flop when it came out. Sonic Unleashed, if you don't know, has always been my favorite Sonic game. Even though I gushed with 06's soundtrack earlier, this game is special, not only because it was my first Sonic game I ever played, but its soundtrack is very well connected to the game. And I think that's what makes Unleashed such a well-loved game for many, is its well-connected soundtrack with the game. And that includes its orchestrated themes too. 06 brought in orchestra for the franchise, but Unleashed with the Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra perfected orchestral music for the Sonic series entirely. Sonic Unleashed got so much right with its soundtrack and made it truly feel like an epic journey you were going through with this game, from its epic action-packed opening all the way to its heart-pulling ending. There is yet to be another Sonic game to top what this one did. So, what would be next for orchestral music in Sonic? Black Knight would be the next game, and it would have its own orchestral pieces within its cutscenes.
Hey, where am I? Oh, I get it. No problem. I'm used to stuff like this.
Well done, Sir Sonic.
Percival! What?
ridiculous.
Actually,
Yes?
Sonic the Hedgehog, you have mastered the code of chivalry. From this day forth, you shall be Sir Sonic, Knight of the Wind.
It's not a lot, but it's some. However, the ante would be upped a bit with the next title following in 2010. Sonic Colors is often seen as the Sonic game that started the ruining of the Sonic series, but I don't think this game did that necessarily. If anything, it did what it needed to do. Be a simple, fun Sonic game that people could like, and it did that very well, even if that meant that the story wasn't on the same level of the previous two games. But even though the game's story was very simple, however, that did not stop Otani from making yet another amazing piece for the Sonic franchise. Sonic Colors soundtrack is another one of my favorite Sonic soundtracks to come from the series. Sure, it might not be on the same grand orchestral scale of Unleashed or 06's cinematic feel, but these orchestral pieces stand in its own lane here. You hear it and it sounds like a grand adventure through space with a bunch of aliens, and it works perfectly. Well, mainly because that's what it is. In fact, much like with Unleashed, you hear the main motif multiple times through your experience. The Wii's channel, the title screen, and again in the end credits. This game, much like Unleashed, also has two main themes. The vocal theme being Reach for the Stars, and the theme of Sonic Colors. I love this trend that they did in Sonic games, where the game has two main themes. The vocal theme for the game, and the main game melody. It's so awesome. And where it's Sonic, where they already had vocal themes in the early 2000s and introduced main melody orchestra in 06, it honestly just works so well that both of these being the main theme within the same game, you just roll with it, honestly. In fact, within the theme of Sonic Colors, some pieces within the song are actually chopped up and put into multiple places throughout the game, like the options, save screen, and title screen. But when they're all combined into this one piece, it all sounds fantastic and makes one of the best Sonic orchestral pieces ever made. Sonic 06 sounds cinematic. Sonic Unleashed is a grand adventure. Sonic Colors, I know this might sound a little corny, but Colors Orchestra is magical. All of its orchestral pieces sound magical, and it's about to be a fun time through space. Even the world map in the game has it too, and the magical feel is captured perfectly with it. Just feel like that magical feeling? If you don't, well then please find joy in yourself. It feels like with each game, Otani and the team gets more and more better with orchestral pieces within Sonic games, making each one almost better than the last. From each one, the main melody of the game has its own vibe and feel to it that can be perfectly described as stated previously. So, with that stated, where do we go from here? Wait a minute, this game doesn't even have an orchestra! Oh, you have gotta be kidding me. Lost World would be a game where Otani would start to switch things up a bit musically for Sonic games. Not too much, but a different lighthearted kind of vibe for them. And Lost World's soundtrack is still good in some aspects, but in terms of the orchestral department, Look, there's like a certain amount of tracks in here that are actually orchestral, with two of them being boss fight variant music, and the other one being pieces of orchestral music within the cutscenes. But where it really shines is in the opening.
Critters, Eggman!
but the rest is just symphonic instruments being used like in face-off cutscenes where Sonic runs into Zavok. But with that said, there is a small piece of an orchestra in the Wonderworld main theme here too, but it only lasts for a few seconds. It's a subtle little piece, but it isn't really anything to write home about, especially when comparing it to the last few games that did have orchestral music. Lost World's soundtrack isn't bad, in fact far from it. This game has its own vibe entirely in terms of the music scene, but when it comes to the orchestra, this game wouldn't feature much of it at all outside of what I mentioned earlier. For a game that's as bad as Sonic Forces, surprisingly enough, this game has orchestral pieces within its soundtrack. I know, crazy, right? Generations had literally none whatsoever, and Lost World had hints of it, but Sonic Forces? It's back, and I'm going to try my best to not say anything bad about this game. Sonic Forces orchestrated pieces within its soundtrack are basically if Sonic met Star Wars, and mainly because it's by the same people. The same orchestra who made Duel of the Fates and one of the most iconic themes in all of entertainment are working on Sonic freaking Forces, which is a crazy sentence to say honestly in retrospect. Tomoya Ohtani teamed up with the London Symphony Orchestra to do pieces of the soundtrack for Forces. They did some of the cutscenes, menus, extras, and some of the main pieces too.
This guy is faster than Sonic! I'm trying, Sonic, but these readings are all messed up. They don't make any sense. Sonic!
This wasn't part of my agenda, but I'm always happy to crush a hero. It keeps the rabble in line. It shows them that there is no one. Does anyone know
I got it from here.
Much like with what Forces was aiming to do, bringing back all the stuff that made Modern Sonic work so well, alongside that, they brought back not only the orchestral themes for the game, but having a main vocal theme and having another main theme melody for the game as well. The theme being This Is Our World. Actually, this game has two main theme melodies, being This Is Our World and the theme of the Resistance. The cool thing about both is that they have varying versions of the track within the soundtrack. Essentially, they're both the same track, but one piece is a little more softer and the other one is more stronger than the other.
CERN is touching, Knuckles.
And in terms of the This Is Our World theme, the theme of the overmap, it has a progression melody to it. Kind of like the Comet Observatory from Mario Galaxy, where there are 3 versions of it where it changes throughout the game as you progress. Here in Forces, the same thing is here as well. There's 3 versions of the world map. The first movement, the second movement, and the final one with all of it together. Actually, there's even an extra one too from the beginning of the game where you create your own custom avatar, being the new hero version. This one was my favorite back then when the game first came out, but nowadays I tend to lean more toward the final version of it that plays when you finish the game. While the rest of Force's soundtrack is very, well, forces me to listen to it, the pieces the London Symphony Orchestra did are fantastic and are truly some of the best of the soundtrack. Sure, maybe not on the same levels of unleashed grandness or color's magical feeling it gives, Forces deserves some flowers for its attempt at giving Sonic a new grand orchestra main melody again. My favorite part of This Is Our World is toward the end where it would normally sound like it's gonna loop again, but instead it starts to pick up, and then boom, it takes this epic finale sound. When I listen to this, it kind of reminds me of my favorite part of the World Adventure, where here it's kind of like Sonic Team are saying once again, hey, we got Sonic back now, you're in for a crazy time in action, and oh boy. Why do I keep having to set myself up for disappointment on this? You know what? I think I'm starting to realize why they don't do these much anymore. Mainly because most of the games that did them, they kind of ended up not doing very well. That is what I would say. But this is the Sonic series. And giving up isn't Sonic Team style. Sonic Frontiers soundtrack is big. This soundtrack, much like 06, has a lot of varying genres throughout it, like ambient, lo-fi, EDM, metalcore, and one that's overlooked quite often being the use of orchestral music throughout it. So overshadowed that, I won't lie, I kind of forgot it was in the game myself. I mean, to be honest though, I can't really blame myself for that really. Look, Frontiers orchestral pieces aren't bad or anything, they're just kind of forgettable a little. The reason why I think this is because a lot of the orchestral tracks from this soundtrack is all only made for the cutscenes, and they're good for cutscene tracks, like there's a few highlights from the main game, but these aren't really too much to write home about. Is that bad though? No, not really. You see, the reason why is because, like I just said, these are made for the cutscenes only, not for anything else, unlike the other 4 major titles we talked about already. The other genres within this soundtrack are made to stick out more than the orchestral pieces, but that's not to say that Frontiers has literally none, because when Frontiers received its final Horizon DLC, the ante does get upped a bit with this DLC soundtrack.
Just tried to save you. Not doing it again.
Sonic? What's going on?
I know it's been rough, and that things are confusing. But I need you guys to just follow my lead.
I need you 3 to find the Chaos Emeralds. I take care of something else.
All right. We trust you. You can count on us.
Piece of cake. Get on with it already. coming.
Careful! Where's the fun in that?
Sonic, I want you to see the hero I become. Sonic, you still have love to share with this world too.
Sonic, we're even after this. Ha!
Everyone, thank you. I won't let you go.
You know, now that I realize it, there's something else that I didn't mention with orchestral use in Sonic games. The finale. Remember how I said earlier Sonic games would get more dramatic towards the end, especially in its music? Well, games that introduced the orchestral genre into Sonic didn't hold back here either, because the music for the climax of Sonic games go balls to the frickin' wall. '06, Unleashed, Colors, 3 games that have the best use of orchestral music in the Sonic series, and I've already gushed about how they did it throughout these games, but the finale is what I haven't touched on yet, because the finales are on a whole other level of epic. In these 3 games, they each have a big orchestral piece that ties everything together in the big final climax. Before in Sonic games, it's been the usual epic rock theme song to battle it out to, like Open Your Heart, Live and Learn, What I'm Made Of, and even I Am All of Me in Shadow the Hedgehog. And even some games later on would still do it, like Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight. But for these 3, they went all out for the final boss and finale for the music. Let's start with '06. You have a Hedgehog trio going against Solaris to 2 different orchestral tracks. The first one is all moody and serious, as if the fight is out of their reach, and they may not be able to win this.
It's all you, Shadow!
Understood. Silver, it's your turn.
I'll take care of this. Good luck, Sonic.
Okay!
But when Phase 2 kicks in, you hear a familiar tune.
Is it over?
No, it's not over yet.
I guess it's not gonna be that easy.
Orchestral version of His World kicks in, a theme you've heard a million times throughout the game, and now you are hearing it once again in this epic final showdown with the 3 hedgehogs against the primary threat. It really ties everything together. Even if '06 was a disastrous package, what they have here for the blueprint is still a great experience, and this orchestral piece to this final boss really just ties it all together.
The root of all our problems. I will defeat you, Solaris!
Time to unleash the ultimate power. Alright, it's my turn. Let's have some fun, Solaris. I'll release you from the chains of your past.
I will protect the future.
The present day, the here and now that you've stolen, time to take it back.
And once the threat is destroyed, the final few moments of the game take place, and the three pieces from the next two cutscenes end up being some of the most cinematic and emotional sounding of the entire series. It really does a good job with capturing what is going on within these cutscenes, especially the last two.
If we put out this flame, Solaris will never exist. And then we'll never have to worry about the flames of disaster, right? But our encounter... You and I will never meet. It will never have happened. To tell the truth, I don't care what happens to the world.
Elise, just smile.
Miss Elise? It felt like someone was calling me. I'm sure it's just the wind. Of course. But it felt so familiar somehow.
Is 06 a bad game? Yes, fundamentally it's flawed, but for what it does with its pieces and storytelling with its finale, it does it right with its orchestral pieces and truly makes a climactic and cinematic and somewhat of a satisfying finale to let's admit it, a bad game, but creates a pretty good ending, making it all feel tied together wonderfully. Now, if you don't know anything about Sonic Colors, then you know this game is more of one of the laid-back Sonic games and isn't too crazy about its story or anything. But in the music department, it does its job, and its finale is probably one of the most climactic sounding pieces I've ever heard, and it's in a game where a hedgehog just saves aliens in an amusement park from an egg-shaped doctor. Color's final boss takes a bit of a page from 06's book and has 2 final boss phase tracks. The first one is a super dramatic and somewhat menacing score, as it's just you and Eggman all alone in space facing off in one final showdown as the interstellar amusement park starts to fall apart. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, just you and your enemy with some captured aliens, making it seem like all the odds are against you, and you are fighting for your life if you don't act fast enough. But halfway through, when you break multiple aliens free, the music takes a shift into phase 2, to where instead of the odds are against you, now it takes more of a heroic sound to where the odds are now in Sonic's favor, and he has the upper hand against Eggman. And the tables are turning as you set more aliens free and hear a leitmotif of Reach for the Stars within the song as you make your way to take down the Doctor. Tomoya Otani, you genius. He and his team back at it again with the leitmotifs in the finale theme. Yet again, they took the main vocal theme from the game and turned it into the grand finale orchestral track for one big climax to the game. And the funniest part about it, this is one of the most bare-bones Sonic stories ever, and it gets this treatment.
You horrid little hedgehog!
Unlimited colors! Laser! Drill! Spike! Rocket! You! Hammer! Frenzy! Final color blaster!
How cool is that? A piece of music can enhance even the most bare-bone games and make it feel like something else almost entirely. That's the power of music, and in this case, orchestral music, and that's why I love it so much. While Sonic Colors, as I said previously, has a pretty bare-bones story, you can't deny that for this final boss and ending, it is pretty satisfying for what they managed to pull off here, and it's very well put together for its game, and I love it so much. But what about a game that takes its story very seriously and has a really, really good climactic finale and uses the orchestra to its advantage in almost every way possible?
This isn't over. I'll build a prototype too and...
What? It's Dark Gaia.
Yes, Dark Gaia! Crush this insolent little hedgehog! Kick him to the outer limits of space!
Sonic! What's wrong? Sonic, you've got to get up! Sonic!
What's happening? It was broad daylight a minute ago.
Dark Gaia has regained its true power. The beast is complete. It's just as the Gaia manuscripts foretold, and the world shall be plunged into the dark of night, the dark of destruction.
Sonic Unleashed's main themes, being the world adventure and endless possibilities, are both outstanding. Although you hear one more than the other throughout the whole game, in fact, you don't even hear endless possibility at all in the main game unless you wait around at the title screen for a bit, you do not hear this song in the game at all, unless you deliberately go out of your way to listen to it in the extras. I mean, it makes sense. Where could they shove it anywhere in this game? Could you imagine beating a level and then you just hear, I see it! It wouldn't make sense, right? But just because they didn't shove the actual song in anywhere in the game, it doesn't mean they didn't manage to do a clever little workaround to get it in the game right when things are getting really good.
We're doomed. The planet is lost.
There's no way Sonic will let it end like this!
Supersonic vs. Perfect Dark Gaia is one of the best final boss themes in Sonic history. It's super climactic, epic, not to mention it takes the game's main vocal theme and turns it into a grand finale orchestral piece that sounds amazing. And it works so good that they do this.
Even if the boss fight isn't really all that best in the world.
The OST makes it all the more climactic, and truly this would be a great send-off to a Supersonic final boss fight until Sonic Generations and Sonic Frontiers.
Here's Sonic!
Begin your plans anew. Even if all of your efforts this last time were utterly wasted, even if it was a complete and utter humiliating loss, even the most pathetic loser in all the world will have his chance
The light reigns over darkness, and the world is returned to peace. It's simply a miracle. We've been saved by a miracle.
I told you, didn't I? There was no way Sonic would let something like that happen.
And right you were. Still, we cannot live without the night. We all must sleep. We all must rest. Darkness is a part of our world, just the same as light. It may be that the darkness has not been destroyed, but merely laid to rest. It grows strong over the eons, rises up, then is put to slumber by the light. Perhaps that is the true balance of dark and light Gaia. That balance may be the very will of the planet itself.
Sonic, you must live.
Chip?
'06 tied everything together for its pretty mediocre package. Colors was climactic, and Forces, it did nothing. But Unleashed, no Sonic game has ever yet to have an ending this climactic, and its orchestral bit right at the end before the end credits roll is probably some of the best in the series. Bringing everything together from where it all started and making the theme one big, refined moment.
Huh?
I'll never forget you. I'll be here by you, always. A part of the earth you tread.